You don't deserve to feel stressed all the time. That is negatively going to impact your health. Just get rid of them because they're not doing you any favors. They're endocrine disrupting, meaning that they disrupt your hormones. I would love to have known the impact that those things I was doing was making on my hormones in my body and how it was making things harder for me. I just wish I knew I had options. I'm Lauryn. Today I am sharing 10 things that I wish I knew about PCOS before I was diagnosed. Now that I've been diagnosed for 15 years, it's easy for me to look back on all of that and say, I wish I knew that. That was so helpful. I wish I didn't do this and would have saved me a lot of pain, a lot of headaches, a lot of acne, mood swings, all the things. And I want to share that in case you are recently diagnosed so that you can learn from my mistakes. These things all happen to work really well for me. I know that everyone is different. Like even when my hormones adjust, if my testosterone is higher, the things I do need to adjust. That being said, it is so important to work with a specialist who understands your specific hormone levels and your symptoms so that you can work together on that. We'll jump right into it. Please share this video with anyone that you know that has PCOS too. I would love to help as many people as possible just avoid some of the things that I went through with it because it can really be overwhelming. And I feel like a lot of doctors don't give you a lot of information. The first thing that I wish I knew is about mindset. You really do have to get bought in and commit to yourself with PCOS. Like you need to commit to the lifestyle. If you are going to start and stop, go from 0 to 100 back to 0 all the time, you won't see changes and you'll just get really frustrated, honestly. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do have to have a foundation. There are moments when I'm on vacation and, I'm enjoying myself and I'm doing things that I wouldn't do in day to day, maybe having a bit more sugar or carbs, but you have to have a foundation and really commit to yourself and keep those promises to yourself. Number 2 is about fitness. So for me, low cortisol fitness is very, very necessary for me to feel really good and not put on weight in my stomach and hang on to weight in my stomach. But it is obviously different for everyone. A lot of experts will say that it is best to do low impact, listen to your body and kind of keep track of what is working for you. If you're not sure where to start, I would start with low impact workouts. That means for me, I do Pilates, I do walking, I like to do yoga, stretching, all in a low cortisol setting. So I don't go to places like SoulCycle where it's like a club. Like they're blasting music at you. There's lights, everything. It is too much. I need to take extra steps to be in a low cortisol mode. Back in the day, I thought if I ran all the time and if I did these like intense boot camp classes, if I was doing HIIT workouts, I thought that was going to be best for me. It's not like it made me gain weight. Don't get me wrong, but I was struggling very often with my stomach. And it's funny, the more I've done low impact workouts, Pilates is still really hard, let me tell you, and walked, my abs and my stomach is in such a better place. I do think it's really important to sweat though. So I do the infrared sauna 2 times a week. If I feel an urge to run, like we were on a hike a few weeks ago and I just felt this urge that I wanted to run. It was also because there was a horsefly that kept attacking me, but I just felt like my body wanted to run. I let myself run. I do that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with running. I just think in general, you have to be cognizant and keep track of what you're doing from a fitness perspective. If you're running and running and running and that's all you're doing and you're noticing that you're not feeling good about where you're at or maybe your body isn't liking that, then switch it up and maybe you run 1 day a week and the other days you do more low impact workouts. I also love playing sports. For me, that is so much fun. I grew up playing a lot of sports. It is a good workout where you're getting a sweat in and some running. And I think that you can be in a more lighthearted, fun mindset when you're playing a sport. I think that sometimes we forget that that is a great way to exercise and also socialize too. Number 3 is something that I wish for every woman and every girl because I think that this is so important. And that is learning about your cycle and your hormone levels. I was not taught about the follicular phase and the luteal phase. And I don't think most most women know about those things, the different parts of your cycles and how your hormones go up and down and adjust throughout. I think that one of the most empowering things, especially with a hormonal condition like PCOS, is empowering yourself and learning about your cycle. It's also so important to get your hormone levels checked regularly and just know where your hormones are at in relation to you, because honestly, what they say is normal when you get your hormones checked. I don't buy that. I feel like it is different for everyone. The doctor can say these are in the normal range, but you could still be breaking out or feel really fatigued or feel really crappy. It's important to keep track of all of your blood work. Keep a file so that you know what it is for you, and keep track of like, what were my symptoms when I had really high testosterone? I was breaking out in acne, my hair was really thin. Keep track of those things so that you can feel empowered and that you can understand your body really well. I've learned to understand my cycle to the point where I know right after my period, when my hormones start rising again, that is like the best part of my cycle for me. I feel amazing. My abs are showing more. My face has less swelling, and I just feel really good. And then I know when my hormones start falling after ovulation and I feel exhausted, like so tired, and I know different things that I should be eating at that time or different teas to use. There's so many different tools that you can use. I just didn't even know. One, I didn't know your cycle was like 30 days or whatever it may be for you. I was just thinking your cycle meant your period. And I think a lot of women think that. Your cycle is the whole month or however many days your full cycle is from period to next period. That is so important to know. And it is so important to understand how to support yourself. Number 4 is birth control. I wish that I knew there were options other than the hormonal birth control pill. When I was diagnosed, I was just told, here's the pill. This is how you treat PCOS. So that being said, did not even research, did not even think that there was other options. And I dealt for so many years with mental health challenges and mood swings and a lot of stuff that I really noticed was aggravated by the hormonal birth control. And I don't like the link between the hormonal birth control pill and breast cancer. I think that that is something that they should tell you more before they prescribe it to you. I think that you have to do what works for you. I personally take birth control pill that is from Asia and it is non-hormonal. That has been great for me. I've been using it now at least 3 years and I haven't had any issues with it. For me, that has been a good solution. I just wish I knew I had options. That was not clear to me, and I want you to know that you have options and you don't just have to take hormonal birth control because your doctor recommended that. There are other options too. Number 5, I wish I knew about the role that nutrition and diet could really play with PCOS. That was not even in my vocabulary. It was not a thought that I had in my mind that how I ate could affect my PCOS. And wow, once I understood that, things really, really changed. I like to do a very high protein diet now. I limit red meat and I eat about 100 grams plus of protein per day. That's just what works for me. You don't want to go crazy overdoing it on the protein because that could be a lot for your body to handle. So you want to make sure that you're getting the right amount for you based on your body type and weight. I really do a low sugar diet, and if I have sugar, I try to do unrefined. It's very rare for me to eat refined sugars like cane sugars. I don't even have that in the house. I have coconut sugar, maple syrup, dates, things like that. And I am very discerning about that. If there's something I really want, I let myself. But in my day-to-day life, my foundation, sugar does not play a big role, only natural sugars. Then for carbs, I try to focus on complex carbs. I do have celiac disease, so I eat all gluten-free as well. But just because something is gluten-free does not mean that it's good for PCOS. I look for more complex ones, things that are made from quinoa, for example. That's really great. Buckwheat. And I know that when I'm having carbs, I like to combine it with a protein and a fat. That helps you not get such a spike in your blood sugar, because if you just eat a piece of bread, that's really going to spike your blood sugar. That turns right into sugar in your stomach. But if you have that and you put avocado on the bread and you put some chicken and you're putting hemp seeds and olive oil and whatever, and you're giving yourself a really well-built meal, it is not going to spike your blood sugar like so crazily. And for PCOS, that's so important with insulin resistance. You do not want to just be spiking your blood sugar up and down so crazy. I also stay away from processed foods as much as possible. I just try to have healthy whole foods as much as we can. Your diet has to be sustainable forever. Like, you can obviously tweak and optimize and adjust, but you have to find what you love and what works for you, because it shouldn't just be a temporary diet. Like, you want to do a lifestyle change where your nutrition and diet and the way that you're eating has become your lifestyle, and it's something that you love. It's not something that you resent or you're just doing for 30 days. What does that look like? So be honest with yourself. You do need to be open too, right? Like, if you're currently eating a really processed diet, high in sugar, you're not having protein and whatnot, you do have to be open to, hey, how can I have a healthier diet? But you want to have a healthy diet that is sustainable for yourself. I think that is so, so important. I get really excited about food because I know how much it can change your life and how you look. We can all make a choice of what we want to eat and choose the things that are simpler and choose the things that have benefits. I want to feel and look good, so my diet reflects that. I do not calorie count. I 0% calorie count. I am much more concerned with getting enough nutrients and protein. If you start saying to yourself, like, I'm going to limit myself to X calories a day, I really worry that you might not get enough good nutrients and protein. Do not deprive yourself. Just do healthy portions and healthy alternatives. I have chocolate every day. I'm not going to tell you, don't ever eat chocolate. Like, I have a healthy chocolate. I have a good chocolate that has some nut butter in it, so I'm getting some protein too. But if I deprived myself, I would just crave these things all the time. You don't want to feel deprived. Number 6, drinks. I really wish I understood this, and honestly, I don't know if it would have mattered if I understood this. Alcohol is not your friend with PCOS. I recommend no or little alcohol. I recommend staying away from caffeine. I have matcha, not every day, but I want to eat a healthy breakfast and have that be the energy that fuels my body initially. And then I'll let myself have a matcha, after lunch if I feel like I could use one. Water, 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 water. Yes, we all know water is important. It really is though, like filtered water too, good quality water, and electrolytes. I went through this period of time where I was like drinking so much water that I was actually dehydrating myself because I wasn't getting enough salt and electrolytes. So my body was not hanging on to it and I was just peeing all the time. You don't need to overdo it. Look up how much water that you should have based on your weight and do that. Have a good water bottle, make yourself the habit so that you can do it, but also have a packet of electrolytes every day or put some salt in your water. I really love this one brand of electrolytes because it doesn't have any natural flavors or any crap. They use real fruit. So I will link that below. I would highly recommend electrolytes, especially if you feel like, I just don't want like plain water all the time. Have those. They taste really good. Oh my gosh, I could drink like 5 of them, but I think you're only supposed to have like 1 or 2 a day. So I usually just do one. Lastly, for drinks, I wish I knew no sugary drinks. Oh gosh, they can put so much sugar in drinks. It's wild. It's really a hidden thing that you don't think about if you get a drink. Even sometimes I order a mocktail and I tell them I don't want any syrups in there because they just have cane sugar in those syrups or corn syrup. I just say I would love just fruit. If you have honey, that's fine, some mint, or I just get water and ask for a little mint or lemon or lime with it. Be very, very cognizant of sugary drinks. I would highly recommend staying away from things like soda, anything that you are just having 40 grams of sugar. Some of these drinks have more sugar than you should be having in your entire day. I really wish that I knew about that and I was more cognizant of all the sugar that I was drinking. Number 7, I wish that I understood which supplements were helpful for PCOS because I've tried so many over the years. And obviously in the beginning, I didn't even know that was the thing, but I have tested a lot of different ones. So I wish I knew about everyday helpful supplements, things like probiotics. That has been a staple for me now for years. Myo-inositol and D-chiroinositol, that combination, I just started last month and I'm really, really liking it. It's helping a lot with my blood sugar balance personally. And I've seen people say that it helps with their skin and other symptoms as well. I will link the one that I'm using down below. I'm sure there are plenty of options of that too. I really like fish oil. I think that is great for PCOS. I do saw palmetto most days because I tend to run high testosterone with my PCOS. So I need to do things to help make sure that I am not elevating my testosterone. Saw palmetto is a DHT blocker that really helps, especially with hair and thickening my hair. Spearmint tea is also really great. I mentioned that all the time. That is an anti-androgen, meaning it can help bring down your testosterone levels. I really like spearmint tea for things like acne, could do 2 cups a day. And then I wish I knew about adaptogens like rhodiola. That has been fantastic for me. I love to use that to really focus during the day. And magnesium before bed. I feel that that is amazing for PCOS. When you have PCOS, I feel like you kind of just need that little extra help guiding your body properly to, okay, now is time for sleep. Magnesium is amazing for that. I take magnesium before I go to bed. Speaking about magnesium and bedtime, let's talk about number 8. So I wish I knew about winding down and about stress and how that relates to PCOS. By 8:30, I want the TV off. I don't want to be looking at my phone. And if I am, I have it turned on red light mode where everything is red on my phone, so it's not so straining and energy spiking for my eyes, and I'm using it to read, if anything. I'm not scrolling. The lights in the house are dimmed. 8:30 is like wind down. I want to chill. I just help my body understand that it is time to chill out. We are going to bed soon. We need to chill. We can relax. I can drop the cortisol now. We're going to go to bed. I want to be calm. And also in relation to that, in the morning, I'm opening up the windows. I'm letting in the natural light. I'm standing in the sunlight for a second and just really like letting myself take that in and be like, okay, it's time to wake up. It's time to have energy right now. If I find myself getting stressed, I like to step away from what I'm doing. That might be stepping away to make a cup of tea. It might be stepping away to take a walk. It might be stepping away to go outside in the yard, look out the window for a sec, read a book for 5 minutes. Anything that can calm you down. I think that with PCOS, it's important to manage your stress. It's important for anyone, but it's really important with PCOS because it can exacerbate your symptoms. I personally notice that the more stressed I get, the worse my symptoms get. My skin starts breaking out, my hair feels thinner, I will notice I look puffy and inflamed. Stress is just not good for us. Find the things that help you reduce your stress and have those tools in your toolbox ready to use when you need them. Number 9, I wish 15-year-old Lauryn knew about non-toxic living and how important your environment is for PCOS. 15-year-old Lauryn was in high school spraying Victoria's Secret, those like really gross body sprays that everyone had that were the most fragranced, like fake scents ever, all over myself. I was basically taking a shower in that. And that is so bad for your hormones. It just was endocrine disruptors left and right. I would love to have known the impact that those things I was doing was making on my hormones in my body and how it was making things harder for me. I can really go off on this topic of non-toxic living. I am so passionate about this, but if I was going to give you one piece of basic advice of where to start, that would be about fragrances. This does not just mean perfume. This means things that have fragrance in it. Just get rid of them. Because they're not doing you any favors. They're endocrine disrupting, meaning that they disrupt your hormones. That is the single biggest thing when I think about all the non-toxic living stuff I do. That is the single biggest thing that helped me. I do not have fragrances in my house. From the cleaning products that we use, the hand soap we have. If I'm putting perfume on myself, I'm using essential oil roller balls. From the detergent we use, there are so many sneaky things. It really stinks. Like we live in a world where unfortunately there are a lot of fragrances and things that we have to be aware of. So just be aware, start getting in the habit of reading ingredients. I used to have like those Bath and Body Works, those plugins. If you have those, girl, throw them out, get rid of them, please, I am begging you. I can't even tell you when I got rid of those, I noticed all these issues I was having, like headaches and feeling so exhausted and whatever, all these crazy issues that I couldn't figure out what was going on. Getting rid of those and like really getting rid of them. Actually, we had to move apartments at that point because that smell lingers, I swear. But get rid of those. You do you, but like I'm telling you from my heart, please get rid of those because they're just not good for you. And there are so many things you could do, like essential oil diffusers, essential oil candles. There are so many options, but get rid of the fragrances. We don't need them. We don't want them. That's it. Buy fragrances. No, thank you. This brings me to my last point, number 10, and this is the people and the content that you surround yourself with. So I wish that I knew back when I was first diagnosed, again, going back to stress, how much the people that you're around or the shows that you're watching, the content that you're consuming, this can really, really affect your cortisol and your stress levels. I wish that I knew what an impact that was making, because I had some friendships, some relationships that truly, they were just bringing me a lot of stress. I don't feel I got a lot of happiness from some of those things. I think back then too, like I didn't understand that I deserved to get happiness from those things. Be honest with yourself about your relationships and say, okay, do I feel good and happy when I'm with this friend or with this person that I'm dating? Or are they a positive influence in my life, or are they just constantly bringing drama and stress? Because if they are, I don't know, you gotta evaluate how much time do you want to spend with that person? Do you want to spend any time with that person? Because it's your health and your happiness. All of those things are going to affect your PCOS. That being said too, if you're watching a show and that show is making you feel like clenched and, like sad or scared or angry, oh my gosh, you're like living through that. No, we don't want that. Find things that are intellectually stimulating, but like make you happy overall. And not everything needs to be perfect sunshine, but if you're going to watch something like that, even, I think a great way to do that is to make your environment really calming. Dim the lights, have a cup of tea, do things that are calming at the same time, so you're not just letting yourself get really stressed out. But you do have to be honest with yourself. You don't deserve to feel stressed all the time, and that is negatively going to impact your health. Those are 10 things that I really wish I knew when I was first diagnosed with PCOS, and I have learned over the last 15 years now, which is crazy. I just want to share those with you. I hope that they're helpful. I hope that there's one of those at least that you can take something from today and maybe make a positive impact in your own life. PCOS is something that can be really challenging. I think it's so important to share these things and share what's working and share what has helped. If you found this video helpful, again, please share with anyone you know that has PCOS. I think it's so important that we share this information and help each other. I would love if you could leave a comment down below and let me know which of these tips that you're going to implement. And if there's anything that you wish you knew before you had PCOS, I would love to hear that too. I hope that you're having a beautiful day, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye guys.